Hey everybody, welcome back to Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto. Today we are talking about coming alive in 2025. We're going to let you know what our plans are for 2025. If you saw our last video, we were talking about kind of a roundup of 2024. And we are just committed, I think, to a carnivore lifestyle, and we've got some other plans. I did want to share because Cammy said bring this up in the video, so I'm going to say it right now so I don't forget. And that is, and I just read this recently in Jen Sincero's one of her badass books, and it was one of the quotes at the very beginning of the chapter, and it said, if you live in regret, you're living in the past. If you are anxious, you're living in the future. And so either if you're living in either of those, if you have regret or if you have anxiety, then you are not living in the present. And so I know our number one goal is to live in the present for 2025, even though we're talking about the future right now. Because today is still 2024. So Cammy, take it away and tell us a little about 2025.
All right. We're so excited about 2025. This is going to be our year. You know, we've had a little bit, take a dive. We're going to jive in 2025. We, have been doing this channel a little bit over a year. We've gotten our feet wet. We're like ready to rock and roll and really give you guys some good information and send you through, how we do our life. And so one of the things we're going to do that I think I can speak for Karen too, is that we're going to live in a state of limitless possibility. Okay, so it's really important to live in some possibility, and ours is going to be limitless. We're not going to have excuses. One of the things that I had written before we started our taping was that we're going to perform actions and pursue goals, and Karen came up with the word fearlessly. And then I put in parentheses, as best as possible. And Karen, corrected me on that. She's like, "What? Like as best as possible? You're gonna perform your actions and pursue your goals fearlessly, but as best as possible." And she goes, "That's just that's just the same as saying and not." So I'm not going to be into that. I'm going to be taking some risk. I'm going to be afraid. I'm going to be okay with being afraid. I'm going to be okay with falling on my face and looking like a fool in front of everybody that we're videoing with, that's watching this video. And I am going to be losing significant weight. I don't know how much the weight is going to be ultimately. Somewhere between 70 and 100 pounds is what's going to be coming off of me. And as I do my carnivore diet. So that's what I'm going to be up to in 2025. I pray to God and think that I have eliminated binge eating, which has been a big, huge, huge success for me. And as I mentioned in our last video, it came about because of carnivore. And
Wait.
What?
What did you just say? You believe you have eliminated binge eating.
Yes,
And
yes.
And that you're not going to do it again right? Like you pray to God as though you were anxious about what the future holds.
I am in the future. I am in the future with this thing because.
But let's be in the present.
Okay, so the present is, here's the present. I have eliminated binge eating from my life.
Can you ask for anything more than
from
being
my
in
diet?
The present?
And this is, it's so good that you're making me do this, Karen, because there is freedom. I feel so free. I just want to rip my bra off like the girls in the 60s and throw it away.
Right, well, this channel is not expanding that much. If Cammy has an OnlyFans, that's another thing.
We will stay dressed.
Well, actually, I did want to bring up, we are not. And the reason why I say that, well, I don't know, we'll still be dressed, I guess. I think it's important to check, and I know I don't do my daily, whatever shorts, but I really think that I want to make a commitment, and I really am going to try to do a commitment to doing, so you can see every day what this transition looks like. So I'm going to figure out how to do a body picture, like where are the best places in my house, so you can see the same clothes every day. And hopefully there will be physical changes after eating carnivore until, because my LT67 is, up on February 5th. So we'll see what that looks like.
That's a great idea, Karen. I should do that too, because
You
it would be so
should.
fun to see the trend. Or even if I just did it every week, I'm going to commit to doing it every week, to post in the same place, the same clothes, and we'll see how this weight comes off. That's a great idea.
So here's the idea, at least that I want to bring up for 2025, is that I don't think anybody else has a channel where it's two 60-year-old women who are showing how you transition, how you become something different, right? We're transitioning. We love who we are now, but we have ideas that we want our bodies to be a different composition all the time, right? We want to have it different tomorrow. We want it different 6 months from now. We want it different a year from now. We want it different 2 years from now. And part of that is the inspiration that I got from my husband, who, we were going through our normal lives, and one day he went to the hospital, and 67 days later he died, and he had no symptoms up until then. So that being the case, that's why I call it LT, life transformation, 67 days. So that is why I chose 67. And it's important to know that even though that's living into the future, it's like, do you have 67 days? I hope you do. And if you do, great. Live into them how you want to live in them. And we will be sharing with you our strategies.
Perfect. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that success for us is not going to be an option. Success is going to be something that happens with us. And when we live into the future that way, through our present moments, right? Like in this moment, I'm successful. In this moment, I'm successful. In this moment, I'm successful. And when you are that way, then you will reach and obtain all kinds of goals that, like Karen said, we're happy and love who we are now, but we don't feel like we're living to our capabilities. We are capable of doing so much more for ourselves and for the world and for everybody out there. And it's like when I decided to become a doctor, and I had this vision in the future of walking across that stage and getting that degree. And then it was just a matter of going through in the moment all the steps, the 8 years or whatever crazy thing. I guess actually I made the decision, it was 6 more years, to get me all the way through to that thing and to that walking across that stage. And I knew in my mind it was going to happen. Success was not an option. Success was going to happen. Now, the reality was I didn't know 100%, because you cannot predict the future 100%, but I knew probably about 98%, So that's how we're going to be living out in our lives.
Yeah. And we're going to share that with you because we know that it takes, especially when you're 61 years old, you might be in a rut.
You're 62 now, Karen.
I'm 62. That is true. But I just meant like in general. I just meant 60-year-old in general. But
I had to get it in there because there's only a few months that you're older than me. Then I catch up.
I know. This is the next 3 months. Yeah, Cammy is like almost to the day 3 months younger than I am. So the goal is to share it with you, and hopefully you'll just have fun. And whatever is, if you are drowning in something, hopefully this will help you bring to the surface. What did the Boomtown Rats sing? Their name of their album was The Fine Art of Surfacing. And truly, come to the surface, take a deep breath, tread water if you have to, and then get back on that high dive.
Sounds perfect. So follow us, folks. Jump online, subscribe, comment. We want you with us on this journey for our life transformation.
Okay, bye everybody.
Take care. Welcome 2025.